Snowdrop! Story of the Blanks is a very short yet surprisingly sweet My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fun game, one of many, created by artist/programmer Donitz for a creepypasta game competition based on the aforementioned franchise. Since its first release in July 2011, its popularity seems to have grown exponentially, to the point in fact that it inspired multiple artworks, an author-approved novelization, and an official comic book adaptation. Among the many pony-related memes, this humble gem did manage to acquire its own dimension inside the ever-growing community. Considering the nature of its contents, it's not difficult to imagine why. Story of the Blanks stars Applejack's little sister Applebloom as she carelessly wanders into the evergreen forest only to be swapped in a very Silent Hill-inspired horror. Not much else can be said about the plot without incurring into major spoilers. Suffice to say that the author manages to cleverly exploit one of the basic elements of the show's multi-layered universe to build a pretty believable scenario from. The so-called cutie marks, the indicators of one's special talent, are perceived as literal symbols of growth to appear on a pony's otherwise blank flank when they reach their own coming of age. As such, it's especially appropriate that Applebloom, a young filly that's yet to discover her path in life, will be the protagonist of a twisted horror tale based upon such concept. Another small stroke of cleverness resides in the original character of Ruby, a pony whose own special talent is to find things, which serves as both a very specific plot point and as a form of self-awareness from the adventure-oriented gameplay's part. If I have one nitpick to point out, it would be the very contrived excuse the author uses to have Applebloom losing herself in the first place. At the beginning of the game, she follows Twilight Sparkle inside the forest to meet Zecora, the voodoo zebra lady that only speaks in rhymes. When they try to leave, their path is obstructed by a bunch of tree logs. In order to remove said logs, Twilight has to conjure up enough magic from her unicorn to lift them one by one. thus giving our younger companion enough time to feel bored and explore the dangerous woods. Despite the fact that Twilight had once enough powerful magic to deal with a monster bird the size of a building in a matter of seconds. And yet, she's troubled by a bunch of relatively small logs? I don't get it! Are fallen trees her kryptonite or something? Ugh. The original show itself isn't exactly devoid of the many inconsistencies revolving on the purple unicorn's effective powers, but in this specific case, it gets in the way of the story's credibility, or at least, it does it for me. Story of the Blanks is presented as a very minimalistic interactive experience that focuses its efforts in guiding the player through its narrative rather than providing a proper challenge. It can be beaten in roughly 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how quickly you can solve the only puzzle available, which is mostly about finding something. The arrow keys are used to move Apple Bloom up, down, left and right, and any sort of interaction is handled with the Z button. That's pretty much it when it comes to gameplay fruition. In the end, Donit's little project can be classified as an interactive fanfiction, a well-made one, no less. It delivers a genuinely unsettling story disguised as a seemingly innocent NES-styled 8-bit diegesis. It works as its own self-contained chapter, and it's a healthy way to waste 10 to 20 minutes of your time. Damn you, logs!
Damn you!